cracking up. I'm fucking cracking up this morning, and I needed it because I have a stressful day ahead of me. So I'm just catching a little bit of this. This is gonna be short. I'm probably not gonna do the whole thing right now because I don't have time. But I needed a good belly laugh, and I am crying with laughter right now. So I thought I would share that with you. With you, these LV cops. Oh my god, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's not hilarious. I have contacted these guys, and I told them that they really need to reconsider their position and probably do a little bit of research before they start talking with some sort of authority on this case. And I told them that I was going to be doing a review on them, and I did, and I was very professional about it. But now I saw this shit happen over the weekend. These fucking guys, these fucking Las Vegas police officers, okay? No joke, like they have that. I watched this earlier, and it's cringeworthy because Brian makes me like wanna like punch myself in the head, like most of these fucking people involved in this. But but I have to suffer through it sometimes because it's just like I don't know. It's I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain it. If you don't laugh, you cry kind of shit, you know, right? And so anyway, these fucking guys, and I really I don't mean to be laughing at them, and I respect what they did, and Brian tells a very harrowing story, which is quite emotional, and it's going to take the whole humor out of it, so I'm definitely not going to cover that part because, I mean, like I said, I respect them, but I do not respect what they are doing in this case. They clearly have not taken the time to do proper research. Once again, these professionals, now they're retired, I guess, but they're professional police officers that have, I think they had like 30 years on the job. So then they go and I can't. They become YouTubers and take on, you know, critical thinking about what they see in police cases. But, oh, no. 2 retired police officers are going to listen to a bunch of YouTube creeps who clearly do not have functional brains or lives or mental well-being or anything that's functional. Probably their microwaves likely don't function. They probably don't have functional toasters. Okay, so, and the murder defendant. These are the accounts of which these police officers are taking for gospel truth. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what is the deal? I don't understand this. I didn't understand this with Sean on the Golf. The dude was in law enforcement. I'm sorry, as much as Turtle Boy and all these little fucking minion people who have no brains want to say that the police in Canton and Boston area do not support the prosecution of Karen Read, they are lying. Lying. It's a big lie. Just like all the rest of the lies that these assholes have sold you. And it blows my mind that once again we have 2 professional, likely decorated police officers coming in and they're like, oh yeah, this bitch is innocent, man. Like, yeah, what's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, he had taillight pieces in his shirt. Oh, they thought the dog bit his arm, but there's only one side of his arm that have bites. Oh, they didn't have dog DNA? Oh, well, clearly that doesn't matter. And then, oh yeah, butt dials, and oh yeah, ARCA, and oh yeah, science and physics. Yeah, dude, we're there. We're coming. We're gonna come to your fucking aristocratic murderer, fucking wannabe wedding ceremony / not so much like what every mother and father hope and dream they will be doing when their fucking childlike 44-year-old adult daughter is out conning the whole world to believe that she accidentally threw her car into reverse at 24 miles per hour and never pushed the brakes within that whole 10-minute or 10-second cycle. Never pushed the brakes. That part's not funny. But the fact is that I don't understand this. Are you men? One of you is married, I think, and then the other one I think is divorced. But they both seem like very, kind of like big teddy bear guys, very sweet. I highly doubt they're stupid, which is again like, why? Why are you taking, like, where are you getting your information from? Because I don't think that you actually have read documents. I don't think you've researched how that area how they actually conduct investigations. Because the comments that you've made are literally innocence fraud campaign fodder. And I have tried reaching out to you guys, and I said, listen for my reaction video, and they were like, "Yep, do what you got to do." And then they blocked me, so I can't even comment on their page anymore because they're afraid of little old me. They can't take it that I might tell them the truth and break their facade of believing a murderer. I mean, do you think that this is going to be good for your reputation? Because I think you're relatively new to YouTube. I don't know. I'm new to YouTube. I don't plan on staying either, but we'll see. I don't know. What do you think it's going to do for your reputation when you realize that you didn't do any research to understand what was going on? And even more than that, that you went to basically looked like a wedding reception. Like the spinster woman who's on trial for murder, who is likely going to get indicted on several more charges. But no, you guys with your 30 years of law enforcement experience, and you have so much knowledge and wisdom that you have gleaned from your experience, that you can't even figure out that when these YouTube creators all tell you that 80 to 90 states' witnesses, ranging from police officers from separate departments, firefighters, EMT workers, hospital employees, friends and family of the victim, scientists of all different variations, they're all lying. Every frickin' one of them got up on that stand. Police. I feel like Brian and I forgot. No, Byron. I don't know. Byron. And anyway, LV cops. You have been sold a bill of goods that 90 people got on that witness stand and lied. They all lied. And then, see, this isn't funny, but I have to take it to a funny place right now, because if I don't, I will punch my TV, and I can't afford a new TV, okay? So, they all lied, and your reasoning is that John O'Keefe, the police officer who was brutally run down in the street by his girlfriend, whom he had told he did not want to be with anymore, and asked her to please leave his home, and she refused in her psychopathy and her borderline personality disorder of rage and narcissistic entitlement. And so she runs him down and then fucking leaves him there in the middle of the night with a horrendous head injury. And she peeled off and went back to his place like a burglar in the night and started plotting how she called him 15 times, by the way, on the way to his house, and accused him of cheating on her within the 6 minutes that it took her to get home. He was already got in the house, dropped his drawers, banging every chick in the room, and they were all married with kids, of course. So, I mean, apparently they were having some sex cult like Turtle Boy likes to have. And then also she didn't know where he was. Nobody knew where he was, is one of her messages. And she fucking hates him. And he's a fucking pervert. Okay, so this all happens, and then he lies there for 6 hours in the dark. One thing I did notice is you noticed how dark it was. I'm really curious if you're ever going to talk about how dark it was in that area in relation to this case. Because you still continue to believe that even though you know how dark it is, and you make reference to how freaking dark it is, you still didn't seem to acknowledge the fact that it was so fucking dark that it is totally understandable how people that had been drinking all night maybe wouldn't see their friend knocked down in the snow as they had been drinking all night, leaving, tired, going home to their families, okay? And I think maybe you should consider that, but no, we won't consider that in relation to the case. And then we're gonna spend hard-earned money, and we're gonna go from Las Vegas, Nevada, to Massachusetts to go simp for a murderer who has us all bamboozled. And I don't know, I mean, she's not unattractive, but she's certainly not like drop dead gorgeous type of, plus she murdered her boyfriend. So I mean, if you're trying to get in her pants, probably not a very difficult thing to do, but I would advise probably leaving it there and do not get in a vehicle with the woman. And you probably don't want to be with her when she's drinking. She tends to get into some blind rages. So you might want to steer clear of that, okay? But I'm more concerned about your reputation, that you just bought onto this, like what? These YouTube people who are being somehow they are being paid, whether it's directly or indirectly. There are fucking so many fucking monetary, like financial crimes on top of all the other shit that's going on here. Now you are involving yourself in what you could end up like on the RICO charge end of this, because they are literally, this is an organized crime. Let's call them a family, since they like to be in a cult. So they can be the cult crime family. I mean, that's what it is. This is RICO mob mentality, plus it is, in fact, a crime family, like organized crime shit going on here. And now you're involving yourself in the financial fraud of this shit on top of it. I mean, my suggestion to you boys might be to back away slowly. You don't want to, let them know that you've kind of figured out that she's guilty as fuck, because they will come after you, and they will destroy you, and they will hurt everything that you love and know to be true in your life if you do not sell what they are selling, and if you do not buy what they are selling. So, you know, maybe run, don't walk, but also don't announce that you're leaving so that you can just quietly slip away in the night, you know, like you might after a one night stand kind of situation. Just kind of tiptoe, grab your boxers. You don't even need to put your shoes on. Just get the fuck out of there, dudes. Like, seriously, though, on a serious note, this is not good for your reputation, guys. It is just not. I mean, how are you going to explain this to your buddies and your wives or your girlfriends or your, you know, like, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm a tomboy, so most of my friends are dudes, and like, the amount of shit that I would be giving you guys, like, first of all, I would sit you down and punch you in the faces and be like, snap the fuck out of it. And then I would incessantly rip on you until you never, ever listened to another. Like, I mean, did you guys go into interrogation rooms when you were, when you had a murder suspect and you would be like, okay, so what happened? And they'd be like, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I might have hit him. I saw him walk up to the door. He didn't look mortally wounded. I mean, I'm here and I'm not dying, but he's here with me and he's dying. I mean, these are words straight from her mouth, okay? It's on national television. I'm just saying, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna let Miss Dark Humor entertain me for a minute, and I'm gonna make this brief, but man, I'm gonna fucking, I can't with you. I can't. I don't understand it. Oh, I better slow it down, because I have it on, like, mock speeds here.
And this way we can touch the world now instead of we wanted to still help people and affect people. And
Hold on,
pay, like, karma payout that they're participating in. Let's not roll Karen.
Miss Dark Humor has she's just started her YouTube channel, so please go support her. Miss Dark Humor. She spells it HUMOUR. This is, so far, I haven't gotten very far into this, but her personality is really coming out well on this episode, because I think she was too nervous and serious a little bit. Kind of, she was finding her little niche, but I think she's got it on this one. And she just does not like Brian in the way that I don't like Brian. Like, I can't even watch Brian. I think that she watches Brian, and I had to watch this episode because I've had my eye on these cops, because I'm like, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? And now I'm like, they went to this, like, prestigious fucking hoity-toity party that Karen Read had to fucking get all of her little cult members in order because they were starting to eat themselves. And she didn't want it all to blow up, like, completely in their faces. Good job, Karen. Good job. Keep collecting money. Keep collecting that money, because it's gonna go straight to the O'Keefes. You fucking murderous bitch.
That's just how it like it is. I think that's what really sticks, because we know of all of the corruption and the cover-up that's gone in here in the state of Massachusetts, and to have good cops to come in and talk about this and just tell it like it is. I mean, it's really refreshing.
you know what, Brian?
Okay, I do agree that Sandra Birchmore was a bit of a cover-up. It was a little shady. But let's not roll Karen Read into that. Just because there's some instances of cover-ups doesn't mean that Karen's was a cover-up and a conspiracy. Especially from all the evidence.
We're touching lives every day, right? Right? But this is, like I was saying earlier, this is more personal because we're not in that uniform anymore, right? So this is a little bit more takes more of our hearts for this. Right? Yeah, I have a lot more empathy for people now that we're
retired. I mean, I had a ton when I was a cop. I mean,
Were you guys up to some shady shit when you were working? Like, is this some kind of payback for maybe some shady shit that you two did while you were working? You gotta wonder, like, you gotta wonder what's going on here. Is this some kind of like karma payo that they're participating in?
I can feel people's pain.
Truly, I hope.
That's why I wanted to help people.
I do. I truly hope you'll answer us because they blocked me. Like I said, apparently I am so scary that they can't. They're like, oh, this tiny little YouTube person wants to have a respectful conversation with us about the facts and the evidence. Yeah, let's block her ass.
After being retired, it's almost.
You can, is he just talking about in generalities, or is he talking about people around the Karen Read case? People are in pain. Who exactly are you talking about?
Spirit.
Karen? Or are you talking about the O'Keefes and everyone else? Yeah, they're in pain. They also know who did it.
Okay, I gotta take a minute to break into serious mode right here because that is a serious point. What in the fuck are you two doing? You haven't even mentioned Officer John O'Keefe. You don't think about how your commentary affects him and his family? And then let's take that to all the state's witnesses. Do you know what this asshole and all of his little cult buddies spearheaded by Karen Read herself? And yes, she is a fucking psychopath. Some of you are like, what do you think, Karen's a fucking psychopath? She's so deranged that yes, she is. She is the one that spearheaded this entire fraudulent bullshit conspiracy theory because she wouldn't fucking take accountability for her own actions. She could have been in and out of jail. She could have been done with this. But she didn't take the plea, and then they found the car data, and they were like, oh, fuck. Have you ever been driving down the road forward, and then all of a sudden threw your car into reverse, smashed that gas accelerator down 75%, flew into a blind rage, 24 miles per hour, 62 feet. You've got all the bells and whistles going off in your vehicle, and you just keep slamming on that gas, never once touching the brake. Anti-lock brakes kick in. You make contact with what we now know to be John. But nope, she did that by accident. Have you ever on purpose went 24 miles per hour in reverse? How many? Raise your fucking hands. Let me know down in the comments how many people have driven their car in reverse on purpose 24 miles per hour. If you pass that test, then let me know if you've ever done that on accident. I'm going to bet nobody, okay? And all y'all that want to say the ARCA guys said that there was no, that the ARCA guys definitively said that John O'Keefe absolutely was not hit by Karen Read's vehicle. No, they said that it was inconsistent. His injuries were inconsistent with the motor vehicle accident. Let me ask you this. Here's your homework, guys. Go find me another case where somebody that committed that murder with their vehicle, and that they did it in reverse. How about just an accident? How about it doesn't even have to be a murder? Let's talk about this being an accident, because so many people can't understand that women can be psychopaths, and just because this particular woman happens to be a petite, somewhat attractive, professional, well-educated woman, that she can't be a psychopath. You know what Ted Bundy was? Ted Bundy was well-educated, intelligent. He was getting his law degree. Nobody believed that this man could be a fucking psychopathic serial killer. The people that knew him were like, no fucking, like nobody believed it. His family. He basically had a wife and child. Okay? He was a serial killer. Charming, attractive, intelligent. Yeah, so that happens. And that can be with women too. Yes, most of us are maternal, and most of us are, the soft, warm place to be. Not Karen Reed, guys. I'm really disappointed in you that you experienced police officers were in the same room as this bitch, and now you're talking about how you're thanking her and oh, she's so wonderful and we're gonna raise all this money and oh, you should be ashamed, really, truly. If you'd like to actually have a factual intellectual conversation, reach out any time. Okay? I'm being a total smartass dickhead right now. I'm really not normally like this, but I'm in that mood right now, and I needed a good laugh, and Miss Dark Humor is making me laugh with her coverage because she dislikes Brian, and I dislike Brian, and he's cringe to watch, and we both know that he is lying to your faces, and the fact that he can do that and look you in the eyes and talk about all this money that he's bringing in this little hour here, and he brings in, I don't know, $500? Probably more than that. I have no idea. I think he donated $500. I mean, this is just, it's disgusting.
And you guys are,
Okay, so I'm gonna try and be humor skin, but I had to get serious there for a minute because also, and I think I went off on a rant a little bit there. These state's witnesses, this Jen McCabe that you did a bunch of episodes on, I haven't really watched all of it, but I saw the thumbnail that you made, and it really wasn't very flattering, which I think is a real dick move. But I think you should do a little research into what these families have been through and what they're still going through and the actual terrorism that Turtle Boy and Brian and Mike Crawford and Karen Reed and Karen Reed's family and all of these assholes, Attorney Melanie Little, the Glairer, they are all homeless bums that beg off of YouTube, and their viewers pay them. So it's disgusting to me, but I mean, it's your prerogative, it's your money. Do what you will. I just really hope that people that are giving you money know that they're being lied to, because that's the one thing that I don't like. If you're gonna fucking just be a disgusting human being, why don't you just come out and just say, like, yeah, I don't care, I know she's guilty, I don't give a shit. Because, like, you cannot be an intellectually honest person and have followed this case and still believe that this bitch is innocent. Like, you just can't. I can't even, I'm really starting to lose any kind of faith in people that can't even see that it's second-degree murder. They're giving her a break on that. Oh, she's overcharged. No, she's not. Again, there are so many other elements, but just look at the fucking car data. The car data that they had for the first trial. Just that one piece of evidence that I just discussed about going forward in your vehicle, slamming it into reverse, 24 miles per hour, bells and whistles going off, 75% of the accelerator pushed, never hitting the brakes in that whole 10-second cycle. I mean, that's you can't even do that on purpose, much less by accident. I mean, to me, explain to me how that's not fucking second-degree murder. And then let's discuss all the rest of the circumstantial evidence and direct evidence of DNA and such. And John's hair being on the vehicle. And yeah, I can explain all the little weird oddities that y'all have questions on, because there are some weird things. Absolutely. But it's really not that fucking weird when you ask the questions to people who are intellectually honest and actually give a shit about truth and justice. Okay, I need to get off of my soapbox and have a little more humor time with Miss Dark Humor here.
obstructing their grieving process, by the way.
It's worse. You know what I mean? It's like you sit back and you just can't, I can't just sit and watch injustice and not speak up. It's not fair. It's not the human way. It's not the American way. You can't just let people wrong other people and get away with it. Especially when you stand up camera.
I'm sorry. The irony. So again, you're saying that the whole community is ganged up against one rich bitch, right? All of these people have gone through torture for the last 3 years relentlessly being harassed, having to get actual medical help because of damages caused to psyches, emotional, spiritual damage. Young adults have lost scholarships, left college because of the harassment. Businesses have lost tons of business because of this harassment. A lot of officers, good officers, who have clean records, have been put through the fucking ringer, and their bosses aren't standing up for them for some ungodly known reason. Why don't you get Michael Proctor's records? His professional records. The man said that this bitch was a cunt because she fucking ran into her boyfriend at 24 miles per hour and left him to die in the snow by himself for 6 fucking hours. That qualifies to me as being a cunt. Okay? That does not a bad officer make. I know that you, in fact, even on this episode, you said some things that, you know, if people wanted to say that makes you a shitty person because of certain thoughts that you had during certain situations on the job, like, that is the extent of Michael Proctor's misbehavior. Unfucking believable.
And the only way you can, the only thing to stop a bad man is a good man, right?
Yeah.
So we try to be that good man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Oh, but the point was that I was laughing so hard because you said, you know, this whole thing and no, Karen Read and the man that you're speaking to and all of the people that you just went and had a party with, who, you know, by the way, Karen Read is not supposed to be drinking. I don't think Turtle Boy is either. They're out on bail. So good job there. Good job. Good job. Break your bond so you can go sit in fucking jail till your trial. Please do that. Please go arrest all these assholes. Okay? So, and then you're so fucking tone deaf that you honest to God believe that the actual pieces of shit that you just spent the entire night with are the good people. They are the ones that have been terrorizing and victimizing the entire community, the country, and beyond. Pull your heads out of your asses promptly. Your proctologist just called. He found your heads.
Even with our career and helping people, like you said, every day, now with the YouTube channel, because we wanted to still help people and affect people.
Look at him nodding like an idiot. If I could hear sound effect for Brian nodding his head, it's probably like the sound of a ping pong ball just bouncing around all the walls. That's all I see whenever I look at him. Just, there's nothing going on in there. There really isn't.
Get stuff out there with dirty cops, but also good cops. And this way we can touch the world now instead of just going call to call, house to house. Now we're reaching even more people. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, I mean, all over the world. I mean, during the trial, I mean, this woman from Canton,
I know, it's just, it is.
That is fucking retarded.
I don't like that word,
All over
Miss Dark Humor.
Scotland?
We don't use that R word.
It's huge. It's a big deal, but you're also talking about a woman's life.
It's really sad.
You know, and then Officer
Yep.
Read about it. I mean, that's.
Oh, see? It's always Karen first. It's always Karen. Oh, Karen's life. Oh, Karen's freedom. Oh, Karen this. Oh, Karen that.
Yeah. We're talking about a woman's life. How about your fucking brother in blue that she mowed down in the street? Have you thought about him much? Have you talked to his family? Have you met any of these police officers that you degrade and think that you're, like, high and mighty to when you don't even know their fucking protocols? And please, by all means, take the word of YouTube assholes and the murder defendant herself and the person that's up on like 19 witness intimidation charges and wiretapping and assault and SA, I believe, and God only knows what else. The man's posting Pornhub pictures of children. Yeah, these are credible, honorable fucking people. And you, as retired police officers, jumped in bed with these fucking dirtbags. That's fucking awesome.
Karen wouldn't be in the position she's in right now if she didn't lie and didn't start this whole smear campaign.
It's just tragic all around, and if there's a hill to die on, I mean, this is it.
Sir, with all due respect, this is not the hill to die on.
No, it's really not.
In prison for a long time. To me, that's not good.
No, she's not innocent, and she will burn in hell. Whether she goes to prison or whatever, her karma is coming. She has already made her bed. So, I mean, I cannot imagine a world in which Hank Brennan does not get his conviction. But, you know, I mean, I don't know how many more fucking attorneys she's gotta... How many more attorneys are y'all gonna fund for this bitch? I mean, she lives in a ritzy hotel during the trial. She's boning her attorneys, it seems, as he's grabbing her titties. They have inside information that they're getting a hung jury, which is why they're out drinking and partying that night. She's paying for their hotel rooms, their steak and lobster meals, all their alcohol. You know, they can't feed Jackson McDonald's. Nope. So, and then she's just, I mean, she's rolling in the dough, I guess. So, you know, bring on the fucking high-priced attorneys out of New York. You want to bring some in from Zimbabwe, too? I mean, how much you guys gonna fund? Let's get, why don't we get, you know, I don't know, 15 more defense attorneys? Because she's gonna have about 80,000 more charges pretty soon.
It's crazy because, I mean, you look at the history of Massachusetts. I mean, we fought back against tyranny here.
You fought. This is tyranny. I'm sorry. Brian, get over your fucking self. You literally are comparing Karen Read. She is a murderer, and you're comparing her as like she's having to overcome tyranny. Are you fucking? Have you completely lost any shred of dignity or self-respect that you might have ever once had? Seriously?
Kind of re-evolved back into corruption, and we're seeing it. But I think it was a great statement last night. I can't remember if it was Karen or Karen's father, Bill, that made a statement. I think it was Karen. She said, you know, we're doing, no matter what happens in my case, we're doing great things here because we're essentially peeling back the curtain and showing corruption that's going on here in the state of Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, you're peeling back the curtain. We all see you, Karen Read. We all see you. You might have your little paid minions and all your little cult members that don't actually want to know the truth or care to look for the truth or cannot see the truth for whatever reason. But rational people that have intelligence, yeah, we don't need any help peeling back the curtain here. Is there corruption in your area? Yeah, there's corruption everywhere. And I'm glad that it's being rooted out, especially in the fucking Sandra Birchmore case. That's good. But you want to know where they didn't find corruption? In the Karen Read case. There's no corruption. You know what the worst thing that came out of that federal investigation was? It was the Michael Proctor texts where he called Karen a cunt because she's a cunt because she murdered her boyfriend. In case I haven't said that enough for you to get that through your head yet. She murdered her boyfriend, so I'm glad y'all are having another slumber party and getting wasted and spending lots of money. I truly hope that you're going to be able to look back on this and maybe reflect on the choices that you made, and maybe you should consider actually the victim in this case, actually the victims, which is actually the whole fucking community.
Oh, Karen, is that your MO? Is that really your motivation?
What did he say?
She said, we're doing, no matter what happens in my case, we're doing great things here because we're essentially peeling back the curtain and showing corruption that's going on here in the state of Massachusetts.
Oh, Karen, is that your MO? Is that?
Oh, she's cracking me up today. Her faces. She's like, oh yeah, that's good.
Really your motivation here? You're doing a good thing because you're peeling back the curtain on corruption? Was that really your motivation, or was your motivation just to taint a jury pool, lie, create more victims, and just take the heat off yourself and put it on somebody else?
And get a new wardrobe and lots of, really expensive meals and stays in hotel rooms and just fucking living the high life. I mean, you're getting fucking taking pictures and signing autographs. I mean, I think you might probably deserve an Emmy or no, Golden Globe. I don't know. Are you red carpet ready, Karen? Did you get your nails did and your hair did and your tan on? Yep. Alrighty then.
Is possibly an innocent teenager going to prison?
Yeah. Hey, cops. She wanted to fucking frame a 17-year-old kid, young adult. She took his fucking college scholarship and college first, I don't know. I don't want to say college career because I'm sure that he will get there, but he left college because of the fucking harassment. Oh, God, it's so disgusting. This is what I say. I have to laugh or I'll cry because it's so bad. He left school because this bitch was going to frame his ass. That was her plan. She's still trying to figure out who she's going to frame. Is it going to be Higgins? Is it going to be Brian Albert, a military veteran, decorated officer who these assholes kept him away from his own retirement party this last weekend while you assholes were out partying up with his fucking... Ugh! The person, his fucking abuser, basically. This war fucking military and police officer veteran. Like, come on, guys. Seriously? These guys are victimized over every day. They can't leave their fucking houses. They go to a mall and they get people making announcements over bullhorns, calling them murderers, I'm sorry, they are not on trial. They are trying to raise their families and have a productive life and live in civil society. And now you are contributing to their harassment and terror campaign. I really need you to think about that, guys.
Pretty sure MO wasn't to open the veil on corruption. Highly doubt it. But here's Saint Karen Read. Hi everyone, thank you for being here. I am so grateful to be a part of this movement where we pull back the curtain on corruption. And all of her followers are just applauding and this is fucking sick. This is fucking sick. Imagine if Ted Bundy had this imagine if the technology back then during Bundy's trial was anything like this and just all of these people and women just raising money and I can't even. It's
so crazy, Miss Dark Humor, that you said that because I literally, against my better judgment, went and checked out Crime Weekly's episode. I was very disappointed. I gave them some homework to do. I don't know if they'll read it or do it, but I'm pretty sure that eventually they will. So anyway, but I literally made that comparison. I was like, people have such a hard time believing that women, especially attractive professional women. I don't think Karen's personality is anything to write home about. Of course, all these people that fucking don't know her, yet treat her like a movie star and want her autograph, they think she's something special, but the people that actually know her don't have anything nice to say about her. So, that would be the only thing where I think Ted Bundy actually was, like, even better of a... He was a more well-practiced psychopath because he was very charismatic. And he was attractive, and he was well-spoken, and he was intelligent, and I think I already went into this. I think I made this comparison. I don't remember. But I just wrote this on Crime Weekly's page because I literally wrote these down. Ted Bundy equals charismatic, intelligent, well-educated, well-spoken. And then I said the same about Karen Read. The only exception is that Karen Read does not have a personality that anybody would want to write home about. I don't think. I've never met her, but I don't care to, and I certainly don't want anybody that I love coming into any kind of contact with her. So I'm good. But y'all take care of that now.
I can imagine.
You know what though? It's like Wade Wilson. That's a good comparison that you're making. Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson has all these wives in all these different countries that are... I mean, the man fucking confessed 85 times. And the evidence was, like, so stacked against him. He still went to trial. He still has women all over the world simping for his ass. He got the death penalty. I mean, I think it took them all of 5 seconds to decide that this man deserved the death penalty. But people still don't believe him. I don't understand these people. People tell you who they are, yet people that have their own issues can't believe that people, when they admit what they've done wrong, or they give a confession, which Karen Read has given many if you actually listen to the words that are coming out of her mouth. I didn't hurt a hair on his head. Was that a Freudian slip, Karen? Because guess what? They found John's hair on your vehicle. And yes, Turtle Boy, if you refer to the actual testimony in evidence in trial 1, that was mitochondrial DNA that was a 99.98% match to one Mr. John O'Keefe. And you want to know how that piece of hair survived from wherever Karen's parents lived to the Sallyport? It's called ice. See, when you live in temperatures that get below 0, you get ice freezing, okay? So if something gets stuck on an object in that ice, it's going to stay on that object until that ice melts. So until they got it into the heated Sallyport, which, yes, that was one of the main reasons why they had to bring it to that particular place. The other being that was the area that they needed to go for that DA's office. Okay, but yeah, they needed to go there because they needed a heated Sallyport. So when they got it into this heated environment, I mean, oh my gosh, the snow melted. And then the hair was there. I know, science and stuff, it's really complicated. I know it's really hard to understand. Just like when there's 3 feet of snow from a snowplow in one's yard, and you are looking for taillight pieces, and you can't dig through all that snow without possibly breaking or ruining evidence when you're trying to dig through snow with a metal shovel into plastic taillight pieces. So I know it's really strange to think like, well, let's let the snow melt and find what's underneath. And I know that's just completely unfathomable, but I don't know. Did you want them to sit out there with hair dryers? Like 7,000 hair dryers? Just sit in the yard and fucking, we're gonna just melt all this snow and hope that, you know, we can get down there far enough. Fucking idiots.
Sometimes it takes somebody, yeah, well, sometimes it takes somebody that has to go through a trial, right, as in like biblical ways, that you go through a trial, like somebody said, or Turtle Boy said that
How about John O'Keefe's family? How about the Alberts? How about the McCabes? How about the Proctors? How about the Roberts? How about you do a little actual fucking research into the actual victims instead of taking the murder defendant's word for it and all her little boy toy simps? Think that might be a good idea? Police officers? Protect and serve? Aren't you supposed to have some kind of respect for your brothers in blue? Don't you think you should do a little bit more research before you jump in feet first on a whole ridiculous conspiracy theory where a whole, like, an entire city is trying to frame a woman for no good reason, and in the in the process, they're gonna ruin their fucking lives, you know, over it, and their children's lives and their careers, and, you know, I mean, why not? What do we got to lose? Couldn't be that the actual defendant is guilty and might be lying and might be paying off all these people and blackmailing people and intimidating people and threatening people and extorting people. I mean, could that be it? Could a criminal do criminal things? I don't know. I think so.
I did this to Karen because she could take it.
Do this to Karen. No, 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 no. Nope. Nope. Nope.
You're gonna have trials in life.
How many drinks did Karen have last night? Was it 7 or was it 9? Was it water or was it vodka and soda water? Did anyone count how many drinks she had?
And this is Karen's biggest trial.
Is there any dispute in how many drinks she had last night?
So you gotta act accordingly.
Did we get a bar tab, or can we trust our video evidence? Or, yeah, I mean, I don't know. She's clearly drinking water. Of course she's drinking water.
Think what will come. But that's why she has all the support. So even if it didn't work out for her, she still has all the support.
Yeah.
But I think with everybody doing what we're doing,
Do you guys realize that this will never end? It will never end. If she's acquitted, this will never end. If she's found guilty.
It's a fucking nightmare. Miss Dark Humor, here's the thing. I don't know how much more my mental well-being can handle this. So, like, I don't know. I keep saying I gotta walk away. But then I want to see it through to justice. But I don't know. I think that you and I maybe need to collab and somehow, I don't know. I want to help. But man, this is just exhausting. And you're right. Like, it's never going to end. There are always going to be people out there like Wade Wilson wives. Karen Reed's going to have her husbands. Just like Susan Smith has all her boy toys. I mean, these criminals in prison, they just continue their criminal ways. They will have their supporters. They will have people that believe them. And maybe even marry them in some cases. I mean, we can't save everybody, but obviously, I mean, I firmly believe that Hank Brennan is going to get his conviction. Plus, like I said, I don't think that she's only going to have murder charges. I think that she will have more charges coming. Not that she'll really even need them, because I think she should get life, the rest of her natural life. No parole should be granted this bitch. She has set this country on fire with her, well, at least that community. I don't think most people outside of that community, you know, the majority of people in that community know she's guilty, but these people that don't have jobs and don't have lives just have pep rallies outside of a murder trial and don't actually listen to the evidence. So she's going to win those people over. But yeah, of course. I mean, it's going to be FKR for the next 30 years. It's going to have to be, it's just going to have to be something that we let go of once she goes to prison. Okay? We can have our own pep rally parade when she goes off to prison and rejoice in that, at least in that knowledge that she goes where she needs to go. And she's removed from civil society.
will never end.
I think realization's coming in. We all know what's really going on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, guys, the realization is coming.
The question is, how many of you are going to be able to see the truth, first of all, and then if you are able to see the truth, how many of you are going to actually admit that you see the truth? Or are you going to look at each other and see, like, did they just say that? Is he reacting? Oh my God, she's guilty. Let me see. Does Brian think she's guilty? She's guilty as fuck. Oh my God. We're ignoring it? Okay, everybody's ignoring it? Okay, gotcha. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, selective amnesia? Oh, 227? Oh, dog bites? A squirrel? What? I mean, yeah.
What happened and what went down? It's getting there. It's not what you guys think it is, though.
Last night, I was sitting there, I was talking to Bill at a private moment.
Oh,
With him.
your private moment.
Fucking God. This fucking guy makes me fucking nauseous. He is such a little fucking pussy. He just cannot stop. He cannot stop. Are they dating? Is he dating Karen? Is Bill Read?
I thought Brian had a girlfriend. What happened? Did she dump his ass because he was clearly simping for a murderer? Or did she dump his ass because he fell in love with a murderer? Like, what's the deal? I thought he had a girlfriend. I'm so out of the loop. Not that I was ever in the loop, because I really don't care for him either. Sunny Spirit, thank you for showing me your hind end.
His new father-in-law? He cannot stop talking.
Oh, maybe it was Brian and Karen's wedding reception this weekend. Maybe it was actually like on the deal, her actual wedding reception.
About how close he is with these people. You are not. And if you are dating her, come out and say it already. Driving me fucking. Oh, my private moment that I had with Bill last night. Oh, what was it that Karen said to me in private? Shut the fuck up, dude. It's fucking pathetic. It is so fucking gross, and it is so fucking ick. Just shut the fuck up.
I just said, I'm so sorry that I have to meet your wonderful family under these conditions.
I'm right there with you, girl.
He's talking like he's like an ER doctor or, I can't think of anything else, but some kind of professional that comes into contact with someone.
Hold on.
Oh, what was it that Karen said to me in private? Shut the fuck up, dude. It's fucking pathetic. It is so fucking gross, and it is so fucking ick. Just shut the fuck up.
I just said, I'm so sorry that I have to meet your wonderful family under these conditions.
He's talking like he's like an ER doctor or, I can't think of anything else, but some kind of professional that comes into contact with someone, and I'm so sorry that I met you one of these famous people. So he's like, famous people do that too, like Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil does that a lot. I'm so sorry to meet you under these circumstances. Like, he's talking like a famous person is basically what he's doing. Okay, erase the ER doctor thing I said. That's what he's doing, acting like a famous person, like Dr. Phil, who Dr. Phil is very well known for saying, I am so sorry for meeting you under these circumstances. Shut up, bro.
Every story that I've heard about them, friends and family that showed up last night, people that work.
Are there actual friends of Karen Reed's that actually know her? Or are they all paid turtle mob people? Like, I haven't seen any actual, like, friends other than the one that tried to help her from California, and then Karen shit all over. And now she's given evidence against her. Like, what? I think my wish might come true about the ex-boyfriends, though. We might be getting some dirt on that. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. These poor guys are probably, like, they probably have PTSD, CEO PTSD.
At the restaurant that they frequent in their town. And they said they're just such great people. And I'm like, it sucks. Like, I have to meet you under these conditions. But I don't want to sound this, I don't want to make this sound bad, but I'm glad that I'm here because we all can be the voices of all of this. Right. It's been a journey. Well, think about this. What
Brian, how old are you? Like, seriously, dude. You're like, what, 50? And this is This is your life. You're a fraud and you're lying and like you are a professional YouTuber who's so excited about his new studio. I like I'm confused. Like I feel like you're a fucking frat boy and you're like 18 at a frat house and you're gonna go do a beer bong and smoke your hookah.
Fucking Brian is the he's the patron saint of Karen Read. Shut the, he's so
He's cringe.
I can't
He's
even with this guy.
He's
If
so
you didn't exist, right?
Yeah.
In this case,
Yeah,
she'd be up the river.
yeah.
Because of the power of social media.
Well, she was gonna be up fucking Schitt's Creek without a paddle. She was supposed to be if the 3 jurors hadn't held out on manslaughter, and I'm pretty sure the 3 jurors that held out on manslaughter, I'm pretty sure we know what side they were on before they went into the trial.
yeah, we can't put a woman in prison. We can't send a woman to prison. We are not confused, or it's not that we cannot read the evidence. We just have deep-seated beliefs that will prevent us from being able to come to a resolution. That sounds like cult thinking. I came into this trial knowing that I was going to throw a wrench into it. I'm telling you, Judge Bev, Hank Brennan, I hope you guys have some wily tricks up your sleeves for these voir dires. Might be worth, I don't know, pull out some fucking bells and whistles to make sure that you're coming up with the best approach to how you're picking your jurors, and stay within the Constitution of privacy. But maybe you should have them all followed every night to see if they go hang out with Karen Read and Turtle Boy.
I got into it last night again on someone's live, and there was a free Karen reader that came in and said, the jury acquitted her on counts 1 and 3 of murder, so ha ha ha. I went, yeah, dude, but 9 out of 12 didn't buy the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but you know what, Miss Dark Humor? I have, because I get so fucking emotionally invested in this, because my heart bleeds for these actual victims by this actual fucking terroristic, disgusting human. I believe that John O'Keefe, knowing how much, because I've said this before, but like, I think if it were up to John, if he got his way, he would just make it all go away. He would say, just move on, people I love. I'm in a good place. Go on with your lives. Just be happy. But because he knows how much torture his loved ones have been through because of this bitch, he's like, oh no. Oh hell no. You're not getting away with manslaughter. We are going to have a hung jury. And then we are going to do this again. And we're going to do it right. And your ass is going down. 2nd degree, bitch. It's coming.
So what is your fucking point, bro? What is your point? Oh, then he told me that I was on drugs, and that I should be ashamed of myself. Are you fucked? What the fuck are you talking about? This is the mentality of these people. They want you to forget that the jury did not buy the conspiracy theory, and the 3 that held it on manslaughter most likely were free Karen readers before the trial started.
I'm really curious, because I've predicted that these assholes aren't going to go with the conspiracy again, and I'm pretty much alone on that, because most people think that she will because she has to, because that's all her support. But I don't know that I believe that very many people actually believe that she's still innocent. Like, I honestly don't think that there are many that haven't figured this out yet. They're just pretending. It's like the I can't remember the scientist's name, Schweier's test or something, where you have, God, there's a really good one on Netflix that's actually entertaining, where they invite all these strangers to, like, this one was good because it was, I mean, the shit would be scary though, but they do this it's like a human experiment of basically morals and values, and you pretty much get called out. In this particular one, it was pretty bad, but they basically staged a murder, but like everybody was in on it except one person, and then like it was funny. It's on Netflix anyway, that one is, but they do it in a lot simpler terms. Like they'll have like 8 people go sit in a room, and they'll have a piece of paper with like 5 different lines drawn on them, just straight lines but different lengths, and they'll say, okay, which one of these is the longest line? And so all of the people are in on it except one person, so they all choose the wrong one, and then they see if that other person will choose the wrong one because they want to know if they're going to go with the crowd. And a lot of people do, which is really sad. People don't trust their own ability to think and process and be rational when all of their peers are making a choice that's clearly irrational. It's more important for them to fit in, right? Than to have integrity and enough confidence in oneself to trust oneself. I think that's really sad, but it's a very common thing. Okay, like that's a really simple way, or a simple way of doing that, but it's a real thing. And I honest to God think that that's what these people do. Like I watched, because like when I first started watching this trial, and I thought Melanie Little, the very first time I watched her, I thought, well, she's an attorney. She clearly, read the court documents, and I trusted her that first day. And then I was like, this bitch is fucking in on this shit. And then I'd be watching the court stream with Court TV. And as soon as something came out in evidence where I'd be like, okay, I gotta go see if this bitch even had any kind of reaction, how she reacted. Is she going to be honest about this? Or what is she gonna do? So then I'd go watch her to see how she reacted. And she would just look at the TV. Like, she would basically just pretend like it didn't happen most of the time. Like, it's like, and then that's what they do. Like, they bring up the 227 still. They bring up the dog bite still. It's like, all of this shit has been disproven, but they don't want to believe it, so they ignore it as if it's not an actual fact. It's like, oh my God, this is borderline. I mean, it's funny and it's disgusting at the same time, but it's also really fucking scary, because these are the people that live in our civil society that we need to count on. If, like, these are supposed to be people that are supposed to be for the human good, and they can't even think for themselves. It's pretty sad. Anyway. Luckily, I think I have come to the conclusion that this whole social experiment on YouTube is not necessarily a true reflection of our entire society as a whole. I think most of the people that are in this particular, at least especially in this one, they're their own breed of people. So, I don't think it would be a true reflection of a segment of our well, it's a segment of the population, but it's not the intellectual segment.
They got rid of one. One other one was suspected of being a free carrying reader. What makes you think those 3 worked as well?
The ability to have people research things even deeper than you do, right? And they point out points that, hey, we gotta talk about this, right? So thank God for social media, thank God for YouTube and us.
Oh my God.
Especially brought this to light and Turtle Boy. Yeah, Turtle Boy. The spirit, took the sword, right? Yeah. So sorry.
Have you guys looked into Turtle Boy? Just curious. Like, do you know what this man does? And don't give me this whole fucking receipts shit. This man is a fraud. He makes receipts. And if y'all can't figure out that people can fucking tweak shit and make it look a certain way, that's what criminals do. Okay? So they can make their own receipts, and trust me, Turtle Boy makes his own receipts, and he conveniently leaves out certain things, and he conveniently edits shit, and he conveniently gets leaked autopsy photos that he photoshops, and doctors like Dr. Turtle Boy telling you who he is again, and then he fucking puts them out in the public. And these fucking piece of shit attorneys make humongous chalks to bring into the courtroom to hold up in their PR campaign, because this was all a big fucking like they thought they were on a fucking movie set. Thank God Judge Bev at that point said, if you fucking show those pictures to the gallery, I will not even hear you. Do not. You're not, like, what are you doing? This is a pre-trial motion. They get this fucking, like, 80-foot autopsy photo that Aiden fucking photoshopped. And they're holding up. They need, like, 6 people to hold up this chalk. I'm exaggerating, but oh my God, it was so fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's disgusting, but it's like you have to look at the lunacy of this, because it's seriously like, how are you guys maintaining straight faces as if you're serious intellectual people right now?
Turtle Boy, the tip of the sword. And it's also the sword that he's going to die on, metaphorically speaking.
Waterfall. Like I would say, it's you drop a pebble in the pond, what happens?
Yeah.
The ripples drop a pebble in the pond, and the ripples flow up.
Yeah.
So, and
How amazing are the metaphors?
You are in your zen, huh? There, you come up with that one all by yourself, Brian? Like ripples in the pond. Yeah, okay.
Yep, you drop a pebble in the pond and it ripples out. What a dumbass.
it's been great to be able to use this platform and these platforms and all these amazing creators that have been in it. If I sat here and tried to name all of them.
You mean all the fraudulent, money-hungry, lying sacks of shit who are actually crossing into the realms, have crossed into the realms of criminality? You mean those people? Yeah, you're in good company.
Oh, you couldn't get all their names.
There's 2 cops in a room full. Oh my God, the irony of that. These fucking cops, Las Vegas cops, come all the way to Boston, Massachusetts to spend their time in a room full of hundreds of criminals. And then they're like, oh my God, we kept this a secret. So if, 200 people can keep this a secret, then don't you think 10 to 12 people can keep a secret when their lives depend on it? How long did you keep the secret? Because as soon as it happened, you couldn't wait to fucking post it all over all your social media like you're fucking in the show Entourage, and you and your boys are going to go and get some filet mignon. Like, what the fuck? You guys think you're so fucking cool. You're a bunch of fucking middle-aged men having middle-aged men crises, and you really need to fucking find something better to do with your life than simp for murderers. Because karma is a bitch. I mean, it just is. It's coming to get ya. Are you nervous about the knocks on your door? Do you see sirens when you close your eyes at night? Do you see sirens? Do you see, well, you know what I mean. I mean, sirens have lights too. Do you see the lights and hear the sirens?
But you all know who you are. I mean, I don't have to.
Yeah, it's a long, long list.
You can contact me at www.gofuckyourself.com. But also, if the federal government happens to be listening, seriously, reach out to me and I will give you a list of all of these criminals. And I will get you all the fucking evidence that I can give you. I'm sure you have enough, though. I'm sure you've got that covered. You're the feds. Who am I talking to?
Yet to find a law tuber that covers this case with integrity, whether it's sitting on the fence or whether it's picking the side of Karen Read is guilty. If anyone knows a law tuber on YouTube, obviously, that covers this case with integrity, please put it in my comment section. Please let me.
The closest I have found is Emily D. Baker. She really does, she is the one with the most integrity. The unfortunate thing is, and I wonder how different it would look, I mean, she worked with Alan Jackson, and I know that she looks up to him, and unfortunately, I really think that he is a total piece of shit, which makes me really lose some respect for Emily D. Baker, which sucks because, like, she doesn't deserve his stank, but it disgusts me that people don't call him out just because he is a fucking highfalutin California attorney. So, I just don't know. I'm trying to think, like, their uncivil law is awful. Lawyer, literally tries to play ignorant. It's disgusting. He knows what's happening. He's like, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about any of that. I'm just going into this as a juror, and this is what I see. And it's like, okay, Peter, yep. You're just too much of a fucking pussy, and your fucking donos on your fucking YouTube probably brings in more money than your law practice. Why don't you put your dad on? I'd like to hear what your dad has to say, because I bet he might fucking call it for what it is. He might. You're too fucking pussy to do it. Yeah, let me know, too, if you have a law tuber that has integrity with this case. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was one. Oh, I know who it was, but, all the lawyers that want to speak freely don't, because they have families, and they know what Aiden will do. And they can't risk Aiden terrorizing their families. So I do know one, but we can talk about that privately.
Because I can't find one.
Repeat names. They're all doing an amazing job. And what's happening is that ripple effect. Like I said, now it's got Las Vegas. I mean, this is great. We have people overseas that are talking. It's just been a really good.
It's Las Vegas.
We just get a couple more of the server chats in. We can keep the
Oh my god.
We've got Christine. Thank you so much. Welcome to Boston Conference.
Yeah, I mean, all this money. I hope y'all are taking notes, feds. I hope y'all are taking notes of how much money these bitches are taking in. Because you know what? You know who all of this money should go to? The O'Keefes, the Proctors, the Alberts, the Roberts. Brian's sure going to be a sad little petulant boy when he gets his brand new studio and his brand new camera setup taken away from him. He's an adult, and he is seriously has the mentality of a frat boy, in, like, frat boy college, like, first year, freshman year. Oh, none of these fucking people have the backbone or the self-respect to stand up to. I cannot wrap my head around the idea of being able to, like, threaten somebody on YouTube to do your bidding. Like, I don't understand that. I get bullying. I get, like, the whole idea of social media bullying, and I cannot imagine how that is for teenagers. Like, that's awful. But when adults are doing it to each other, first of all, when adults are doing it to each other, it's pretty fucking pathetic. But then to also be such a pussy that you're, like, what are you scared of him doing? Like, what does he have on you? Or are you, what, I don't understand it. Or is it just like, I just don't get it. You're an adult, and you're cowering to a 5'7", 5'6" man with a penis for a nose? I don't get it.
What is with this daddies thing? Like,
Appreciate you.
Sorry.
Because Turtle Boy's a daddy. Okay, that's his pet name for himself. And so then we got the crash daddies, the law daddies, the fucking cop daddies. It's fucking sick. You know how Karen likes to stand on misogyny? It's because she's a misogynist. She's more of a misogynist than any of these fucking men involved. Like, she's a despicable bag of flesh.
Crash daddies, Boston cop daddies. What is with this? Why does everybody want a fucking daddy? What is this about? This is clearly a female thing here. Boston cop daddies, crash daddies. Yeah, I've mentioned the word daddies, but I'm mocking Karen and Alan Jackson. And her daddy, her real daddy.
Brian, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We'll add $20. Tess, so happy to see you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. AJ, thank you for becoming a new member. We'll add
Alan
$5.
Jackson?
Oh, this is such a waste. It is such a waste of time, and it makes the podcast a lot longer than it has to be, but whatever.
To the total, we got Bulldog's mom becoming a new member as well. We're gonna add $5 to the total. Thank you so much. Donnie with a super sticker, $5. Thank you so much. Donnie Not Wahlberg, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Donnie Not Wahlberg.
Mr.
All right,
Humor, you know you can fast forward.
Love you guys.
You don't have to watch
I love
this.
it, so we'll add $20.
You goofball.
Again, we're gonna kick back 25% to Karen Reed's defense fund tonight. Lois Lane, $20. Thank you for keeping me company.
Can I fast forward?
Yeah, fast forward.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes,
Why do you
and-
feel like
and
you
we
can't?
another
You don't have
$20
to sit
chat.
through that
Why
shit.
did the radio call go on as officer down, needs assistance?
Are you worried you're gonna miss one of his pearls of wisdom? His pearls of wisdom that he drops? Because he's so wise.
When they realized that Officer John Keith wasn't the entire police force there. Hang on a second, let me try to, again, I'm having a hard time reading today. So why did the
Oh
radio
my
I'm not
God.
surprised that you have a hard time reading, Brian. Not surprised at all. I read it.
all go out as
Hooked on phonics worked for me.
officer
Don't
down?
take me twice.
Needs assistance. Okay, I understand that. Yeah, I mean, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah, is that the $1 million question, Brian? Why the entire police force didn't show up when a call was put out to fire an ambulance to go assist John O'Keefe laying in the snow? They were on their way at some point. They're not going to call the entire police force to go watch John get pulled into an ambulance. There are procedures and guidelines for these kinds of investigations, okay? And first of all, John still had a heartbeat when the paramedics and fire arrived. So it was not a homicide scene yet. What the fuck are you talking about?
Which is why the CERT team couldn't be called, because that's not protocol, in case any of you assholes that think that you know better, LV cops, than the cops that actually work in that jurisdiction. Maybe you should do some research. But also, the whole question in and of itself, this person is so ridiculous. Basically what she's asking, I think, is, well, why didn't they, because he was an officer, because he was a cop, John O'Keefe was obviously a police officer, okay? So because he was a police officer, that means that he should get better treatment than Bob the Baker. No, actually. And if we have emergency medical professionals that would give priority over one demographic than the next, then we really better reevaluate our system. And if you think that that's how it should be, then I question your morality. Like, I don't understand. Because he's a police officer, you think that, like, y'all think that because Jen McCabe didn't say Boston police officer John O'Keefe is lying in the snow, I don't even think that I think the woman was in shock. I don't even think that she literally even knew that it was John yet, and B, wanted to know that it was John yet. Like, I think she was in so much shock, her emotional state could not match up with what she was seeing and trying to get help. Like, everybody wants to give her so much shit for saying there's a man in the snow, because what? She didn't say Boston police officer John O'Keefe is in the snow, as if somehow if she said Boston police officer John O'Keefe is laying in the snow unresponsive, they're going to get there any faster than they would if Bob the Baker was lying in the snow. Like, no. They're emergency medical professionals, and they're going to go when they get the call, regardless of whether it's a heroin addict that lives on the street or a Boston police officer who's a 30-year veteran. Like, this is this not common knowledge that, like, every human is equal? I'm confused. Are we back in the, like, 60s? I'm really confused. Can somebody help me understand? I need help with my homework, because I don't understand the question, Miss Dark Humor.
My mood is changing here. I'm getting a little bit angry because these questions they're ridiculous and it's absurd. It was not a crime scene yet in terms of a homicide. And no, like I said, the ambulance and the fire do not take extra time getting there if it's not an important person.
They're like, oh yeah, I mean, it's just Bob the Baker. That means we can have some donuts and coffee. We'll get rolling here after the commercial break.
$1 question. No, it's not, idiot.
Hey, Miss Dark Humor, do you think Brian should go on Jeopardy? Should we? You know what? We should do some skits. Like, let's do some skits. And you know what? You be Brian. Who are we gonna get to play Melanie Little and Will the meth mouth? Oh my god. The glare. Ugh. I didn't realize. I saw a funny meme though. And I'm not that person, but man, the amount of shit that he does, I'm like, what? Seriously? The disgusting, vile creature and the things that come out of his mouth. And then I saw his mouth and I was like, I'm confused. Is this Photoshop? Like, I don't know. It's confusing.
Yeah, the oddest thing to me in all of this has always been is...
You know what my $1 million question is?
What is the oddest thing in this whole thing, Brian? I'm so at the edge of my seat to figure out what he's gonna say, Miss Dark Humor.
Why didn't Karen go back to 34 Fairview and knock on the door before employing a search team for her boyfriend? Why, when Karen Reed was at the scene when they discovered John O'Keefe, why didn't she run around asking everyone what happened last night? Because she knew Jen was in the house, she knew Jen was going to 34 Fairview. Why didn't she call Brian Higgins and be like, what the fuck happened? I know that you were wondering if John was coming in last night. Why didn't she run up to the door and be like, what the fuck happened here? That's the $1 million question.
Indeed. I would have been in that fucking house. My ass would have been on fire. And I would have been in that house in under 5 seconds. And I would have been demanding answers. But let's hear what Brian's $1 million question is.
We have the 911 call. It's not officer down. You know?
And actually, the other $1 million, the second $1 million question is, did she drive by John before she went to Jen's? I think so.
I think so too. I sure should hope we get that data.
Okay, so guys down in the snow, right? So we got that. And then the most oddest, strangest thing that I've ever seen, and I've watched, millions of cops episodes, millions of the first 48.
Millions? Have you really? Have you watched millions? I don't think there are millions. In fact, I know there are not millions of the first 48 because I watched all of the first 48 and all of the forensic files and all of, like, every detective crime investigative show. I don't know about cops because that shit was fucking stupid and you didn't learn anything. There could possibly be a lot of those, but I don't think millions of anything, actually, Brian. I think you're exaggerating. But I'm really curious what you're going to say here because I'm sure it's going to be an extremely intelligent question. Can't wait.
Any documentary that you can watch about a case or anything. What?
Hey, Barbie Jimbo. Oh, my God. I'm just on here. I literally was only supposed to, like, have a quick little thing. I was watching Miss Dark Humor, and I was in a weird mood, and I was laughing. And I'm like, fuck it. I just have to do a funny one, because I'm always so serious that I have to just laugh a little bit at their stupidity. So I'm just doing that a little bit. I'm almost done, because I have to get going and do some shit, be productive.
Okay, wait a minute. We have a gentleman, an officer, that's down on the lawn, okay? And no one decides to go up and, right? Does anybody know what happened out here? I mean,
oh my God.
They did eventually. What are you talking about? It happened not too long after the fire and the ambulance left. Jen McCabe did go up to the door and there was an officer that basically followed her in.
Right. But we know why.
Yeah. Yep. So, LV cops, I mean, if you're curious about the actual truth, you might want to contact one of us that actually gives a shit about the truth and that we're not grifting off of the tragedy of victims and we're not harassing and terrorizing the lives of victims and well-respected citizens, because this shit that they keep telling you, I'm sure they told you 227 still happened. I'm sure they told you Jen McCabe's phone calls that she deleted them. I'm sure they still told you John was bit by a dog. Like, still now, all of this shit, by the way, P.S., very important tip, has been disproven in a court of law. Okay, disproven, factually disproven. Yeah. So now Brian's telling you guys that the police never went into Brian's house, right? So here's what really happened. They got to the scene. Karen was a crazy person. Jen called 911. Karen was laying on John while Carrie was trying to give him CPR, and it is my personal opinion that Karen put her mouth to his mouth just for her little act of ridiculousness. And God, what is the guy's name that arrived first? I can't think of the officer's name right now. Ugh, I can picture his face. But anyway, the medical professionals got there. EMTs got him in an ambulance, took him to the hospital. Even when I think they still talk about Jen McCabe sneaks off into the house. Like she's sneaking off the camera. She doesn't know that she's on camera, first of all, nor does she give a shit. It happens to be the camera in the cop's car. It's blizzarding out. She is in shock. She's trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. She just saw her friend get taken in an ambulance. Like, she is out of her mind. She's going into her sister's house. She's tried calling them. They're not waking up because they went to bed likely just hours before this. And she goes into the house, wakes them up, is freaking out, telling them what's going on. Well, Jen is apparently very good under pressure and whatever. So she gets them up. By the time they even come down, the officer's already in their house. The officer's in their house and sees Brian and Nicole coming down the stairs from their bedroom after Jen went and woke them up. So, yeah, the police officer went into Brian Albert's house right away. As soon as John got taken into the ambulance, the first police officer on the scene went into the fucking house. Okay? So Brian can have selective amnesia. He can choose not to believe it. But just because he doesn't want to believe it doesn't make it false. Because it's true. It is a fact. If he cannot deal with the facts, that is a him problem. And you are making it a you problem if you continue down this road.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? An officer did go up to the door after Jen McCabe did. What are you talking about?
With our last video that, who is this guy? How did he get here? Where's he coming from?
Is that something you guys would do? Would you go up instantly and knock on the door and say,
We would get the facts, right? Where was he at? Oh, he was at a party in that house. Well, we're going to that house to make sure they're ready to do a safety sweep. Because if he's injured like this, who else?
You have to get permission to go into the house if you don't have a warrant when you're at the scene. Yeah, maybe if they had it, I'm sure Brian Albert would have showed them through the house. But if you don't get consent, then you have to get a warrant. And if you don't have basically due cause, you're laughed at by a judge coming to the judge for a warrant. If you don't have due cause, a judge will laugh in your face and tell you to come back later.
Yeah, I mean, so this is always a point of contention. I mean, they should have, honestly, it was like, This is a fucking 30-year Boston cop, veteran, military man. Like, I'm pretty sure that he's not committing murder and then putting the body of the murder victim on his front yard. I mean, would y'all do that? Because I've heard that there's actually train tracks behind their house. I don't know. Personally, this could be just rumor. But, I mean, if you were really trying to get rid of a person that you just murdered, do you think that you would put them in your front lawn? I don't know if that's the best choice. And I don't know if a veteran police officer would do that. I mean, what's your guys' idea since you're the cops? Because I don't know. But, yeah, so probable cause, yeah, whatever. But, you know, I mean, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't with these people. Because the thing of it is it's a conspiracy. So it doesn't matter. Brian could have came out. He could have stayed in. He could have done CPR. He could have not done CPR. They could have had an officer stay at the scene of the crime until the CERT team got there. You know, they could have, I mean, they tried to put up tape. That's another thing that these people just continuously, selectively don't remember. I mean, it's on the dash cam camera where they're trying to put up the crime scene tape and it is a fucking blizzard and it won't stay up. So, I mean, I don't know. What did you want them to do? Fucking make fucking an electric fence in this? I mean, it's just not realistic. This is called life. There are circumstances in life that sometimes prevent things from quite going how we would normally like them to go, and we're all humans, and yeah, so need I really say more? I mean, those who live in glass houses, I guess, but you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. It doesn't really matter what anybody would have done because it's always going to be used against them. If they came out, then it would have been, you know, corruption. If they didn't come out, well, then clearly it's corruption. If they had this, then they would have, it's corruption. If they, you know, I mean, could the cop have went in the, I mean, the cop was in the house. They came downstairs from sleeping. They're, you know, middle-aged. You don't wake up like a spring chicken when you're middle-aged like you did when you were in your 20s. It's not difficult to see that these people just woke up. Okay? They were not up cleaning blood out of their basement floorboards. But, hey, Karen, how's that carpet testing going? How much money have you raised? I mean, how many square feet of carpet do you have? Because are you going to test, like, every single square inch on that carpet, and so you need $5,000 per swab? Did these jackasses give you that? Or did they pay you like $8 million to get your carpet tested?
Yeah, I think I said in the video.
And as far as they were concerned, Karen was screaming that she hit him and basically all this other nonsense, so yeah, why do they need to go in the house?
Yeah.
Knock on that door.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is like, it was already pretty clear that this was not going to be a very complicated case. And therefore, you know, they didn't do everything maybe like they would have done if they had no idea what had happened. But there were some pretty huge clues. Like, Karen's taillight was busted, and she was screaming, I did it, did I do it, could I have done it, is he dead, how long can someone be out in the cold, and how long does it take someone to die in the cold? I mean, I can't take these kids, all of the awful things that she was saying that still didn't really draw that much attention because everybody was still in shock. But once they all kind of started to, like, realize reality, it was like, holy fuck, a slow burn realizing that this bitch killed John. I mean, it's not a complicated case. It's really not. So, it's always fucking Monday morning quarterbacking, though.
Karen never announced to anyone at the scene that she saw John walk up to the door. She never said any of that stuff at the scene. She said none of that. Nothing. She didn't go to the cops, didn't say to the paramedic, didn't say to the fire, I dropped him off here at a party last night. I saw him walk up to the door, he didn't come back to my car, so I drove back to his place. So what are these guys going off of? What Karen said when she was at the scene?
For 10 hours straight until they open that door. I'm getting in that house. We're getting in that house.
Yeah, at least
See, I mean, it's so sad. Like, they were in the house. What the fuck is that cop's name? Oh, I can see his face. He's a little bit of the heavy set. The first one on the scene. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's still just like, I would have had a rookie cop standing out there knocking on that door for 10 hours until I got in that house. Guess what? They didn't have to do that. The cop walked right into the door, and Brian and Nicole were getting out of bed, putting on their robe, coming down to meet him. Had no fucking idea what was going on. Wake up to all kinds of chaos, trying to make sense of what's happening. And the cops stood there and had a conversation with them. And then they came back after they went to the hospital to check on John and interviewed people. So, like, and yes, it was a blizzard. So they interviewed them in their home, and they didn't all sit and have a powwow together while they were being interviewed. I mean, these people just lie, and you let them lie. I'm so surprised that professional law enforcement I'm watching them just, like, buy all of this shit. And you didn't do your own research. And you're taking the word of a murder defendant and a cult leader and all of his little cult followers. I think I have to go now. I wanted
open the
to
door and peek in, right?
Say you had, no, you need to find.
Someone did go in,
listen to him. He's like, yeah, at least, like, peek in. Brian, he fucking was in the house, you fucking asshole. Like, come on.
we're in the doorway of the front door, they did go in.
You can have a dead officer on your yard, on your lawn. You need to open that door. We need to talk. That discussion needs to happen. You're not gonna get away from it. At least not from us on Vegas, no, you're opening that door. Yeah.
I just think that's the most bizarre thing about all of this.
Yeah, like I said before.
That's the most bizarre thing, Brian, because, I mean, maybe you need to fucking go watch the testimony, because if you think that's the most bizarre thing, you can get that cleared up in a matter of 5 seconds watching the testimony where he said, yeah, I went in the door, you know, Jen went and woke him up, he came down, they didn't know what was going on. They said that he was supposed to come, but they didn't come. John didn't come in the house. There's no evidence of him being in the house. No evidence. So no, they didn't have probable cause. But if it looked like there could have been some sort of altercation, I'm sure that Brian would have had no problem letting the dude walk around his house. There was no sign of any kind of altercation because nobody got in a fight as a bunch of middle-aged people with families fighting over what? Some 17-year-old supposedly walking on John's lawn? Or wait, let me guess. Karen Read. The boys were fighting over Karen Read. And after John told her that he didn't want to be with her anymore and she refused to go, he's then going to later get in a vengeful pissing match, having a dick measuring contest with Higgins. Because why? Because John's trying to fight for Karen? The same woman that he told to kick rocks? And she said no? I don't know if you need your fucking ex-girlfriend's permission to fucking break up with them, but sure seemed like she wasn't giving him permission to break up with her. Anywho, I'm gonna go. This has been fun. Not really. Yeah, it was humorous. I had to have a little fun with it. So, thank you, Miss Dark Humor. Thank you, Jimbo and Barb. Check out Miss Dark Humor. She's a new channel. And, She's funny. She got me cracking up this morning and I needed it. So, remember to hug everybody that you can. Smile at everyone that you can. It's contagious. Okay? And love and light to you all. Mwah. Love you. Bye-bye.